Hi, welcome back to the Kenny Veach Cave mystery. Today we're looking at some of the latest, newest news articles about the case. And the reason why it's so important and interesting is the Kenny Veach case, as formally speaking, never gets documented nor talked about. It's one of the least documented cases, covered ones out there regarding a missing person and a mysterious looking cave out there as well. You put aside YouTubers, creators, viewers. As for the official news programs, channels and articles online, they just don't cover or acknowledge Kenny Veach until now. So today I want to be looking at some of these articles, and I'll probably follow that through next time round as well, depending how it goes. We look at 2 articles today, which were done in 2023, one in June, the other one in July. Fairly recent due to the fact that the case dates back to 2014. Basically, I want to read it out to you, so for anybody watching in this live premiere right now or catching up later, whether you're new to the channel or new to the case, it might help you learn a little bit better as to what unfolded and how things played out. And as well, it gives me the chance to try and set the record straight if there is any BS, misinformation or false narrative being spread to suit a certain politically correct bandwagon, as you know. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Feel free to stick around all the way till the end, because I'll be looking at the comments as well from the last Kenny Veach video I did. As for previous videos, they'll be available on my channel if you wish to check them out in the comment section as well. Pinned comment, there'll be some links there if you wish to visit them too. And for those in this live premiere, feel free to share your thoughts, opinions and talks in the live chat box on the right hand side of the screen. So without further ado, let's get back into this case and look at the latest news articles about Kenny Veach. Here is the first article. It's by Daily Star and the title reads, YouTuber mysteriously vanished after finding secret cave in desert near Area 51. So already this title using keywords to catch the viewer's attention, such as YouTuber mysteriously vanished, Area 51, cave. But you know what the problem is here? It's slightly incorrect and over-exaggerated, because the reality is when it comes to Area 51, it's not near Jome Canyon. Not at all. Okay, the military border margin lines of land owned by military could be considered near-ish, like the bombing range and Nellis Air Force testing site. But Area 51 is further ahead, more northwest or so, miles away. So this title has already been manipulated to grab interest to the viewer. It says that the YouTuber found a secret cave. Well, he didn't find a secret cave. That's incorrect. Kenny Veach described it as coming across a large M-shaped cave which was deep and it was dark and he felt vibrations near it and it kind of scared him, right? That was it. He didn't describe it as a secret cave. He described it as a deep, dark, kind of scary looking one. So I'm just going to try and set the record straight as we do go through this, okay? There's a little caption here saying, a YouTuber who claimed he found a hidden cave near to Area 51 mysteriously vanished after announcing his discovery online and setting off on a trip back to the site. So if I'm correct in saying, besides Kenny Veach's previous hikes out there, if he was doing it for other reasons, when he did initially go, he came across the cave. It was unrecorded. He didn't take any photos. He wasn't prepared for it. He didn't even have a firearm with him. He left from the hike, went back home, and then whether it be immediately after or weeks, months later, he then started commenting on YouTube, letting other people know about his strange discovery and describing it as well. And what happened was people said, well, prove it. Others may have pushed him with a bit more force. Did Kenny Veach feel pressured that he had to prove it to everyone? maybe just a little bit, but I think he wanted to prove it to himself as well. And he wanted to be able to be prepared, to be able to document it, and actually be armed so he could explore into the cave, right? So with being more prepared that time round, what you see on Kenny Veach's YouTube channel known as Snakebit McGee, his M Cave hike video, that was supposed to be the hike where he was going to find the cave, because he was armed this time, as you see in his video. He has limited resources, but he's ready, he's determined, he's passionate. Did he find the cave? No. And in the unreleased footage of him returning back to his truck, he looked defeated, exhausted, tired. It wasn't included in the final cut, but the girlfriend shared that additional footage years later, which was very odd because it was supposed to be done earlier, but was delayed till the documentary came out. So is there some money making going on there? Who knows? But that's just kind of like the short story. And in terms of where Kenny Veach was active on YouTube, it was on Son of an Area 51 Worker or Technician Worker. That's virtually the title of the video. So linking it with Area 51, yeah, you could say this title kind of relevant if Kenny Veach is claiming to have found a cave and it just so happens to be described and talked about on YouTube on a topic about Area 51. It is a bit interesting how that's the one video Kenny Veach decided to comment on besides all the other videos out there. But the strangest thing besides that is the fact that Kenny Veach's comment and entire comment thread was deleted from that video. The comment is no longer there. Not enough people know about this. Not enough people have questioned it besides me. I'm really the only one, and I did document it in a previous video. Really, the only reason why a comment would be deleted is either one, the channel owner decided to delete and remove it, which could be considered suspicious. Two, YouTube, the platform themselves, but then that seems like they're trying to censor it. Or thirdly, it is that the channel owner who left a comment decided to delete it, but why would Kenny delete his own comment if he's supposedly dead by now, or just missing in general? So it doesn't quite add up. That one of the strangest things about it, it's almost like someone's trying to, brush away those traces and memories of Kenny Veach. Kenny Veach's last known public comment deleted, gone forever. And not enough people are questioning it. It's quite disappointing, to be honest. But yeah, that was just basically summarising that bit there, right, from what's worded here, which is a little bit vague. There's Kenny Veach in his M Cave hike video where he sat down, was it juniper tree or juniper berries or pinion nuts, whatever you call it, were on the ground, and he was, scattering about, trying to collect them and talking about them, saying they're a nice treat. You just collect quite a few and then you can eat them afterwards. They're very nice. Okay. Says Kenny Veach hasn't been seen since a trip to Area 51. That is complete BS. This has been poorly worded. Kenny Veach has never been on a trip to Area 51. Kenny went out into the Mojave Desert, Joe May Canyon and Pitcher Canyon, which is far away from Area 51. No link whatsoever there. I mean, people have suggested the possible links to aircraft in the area, the vicinity coming from Area 51, right? Or that if there's any little hidden bases or secret tunnel ways which could connect on to Area 51 or some kind of testing ground nearby. But Kenny Veach's original plan was to try and document that mysterious M cave and retrace it from when he originally went out there and didn't record it and wasn't prepared. Though he was unsuccessful, he wasn't able to find it. So he left the odd other comment online saying, I'm going to go back out there. Right? Did he? Well, supposedly. But he didn't come back. Different theories to that. But let's just carry on, because I don't want to describe the whole story immediately, right? It says, a YouTuber mysteriously vanished after coming across a hidden cave in the desert near to Area 51. It's not a hidden cave. Why is it suddenly being called a hidden cave? If Kenny Veach supposedly saw it at the time, it was deep, it's dark, and shaped like a letter M. Well, it's not exactly hidden, is it? If it stands out to Kenny at the time, right? Over-exaggerative wording, okay? Then it says, conspiracy theorists have long claimed the Army's presence at the Nevada, US base has something to do with aliens, Area 51. People have been suggesting aliens, alien abduction, or Kenny Veach found something he wasn't supposed to, which was linked with military. So he either had to work for them afterwards, or he was silenced in some way or another, or maybe detained. One of those, that's what people were suggesting. But as for the wording conspiracy theorist, you can easily tell that the Daily Star, this article definitely has a biased agenda towards certain people out there for simply thinking and theorizing and thinking outside of the box, instantly labeled as conspiracy theorist, to try and muddy their names, drag it through the dirt. So then if anyone else sees this article and thinks, oh, yeah, those type of people, it kind of discredits and diminishes the research what other people have put into this case just because a news article like this doesn't agree, or because they follow a certain narrative because they're politically correct. That's just so typical of that, right? There can be mysterious things out there. There can be dark stuff going on. But the people that try and dig into it and work it out, they get labelled as crazy people, and that gets spread about. And then what does the rest of the general public do? They look at them, look down, and walk away and think, that's a crazy person. We're not going to listen to him or her. Then it turns out it's true. And then it's too late for everybody else. Things can go on in the background, of course. Yes, sometimes it's a bit over the top, maybe too much wishful thinking. Other times, very delusional behaviour. But there are certain levels which are somewhat valid and, could be suggestible. I mean, even when the likes of Ewu crew, was it Emma and the guy, was he called Bob, that they went out there looking for Kenny, more so documenting the case and meeting somebody else out there in the desert at night time, and over Nellis Air Force Base or test range, you had what almost looked like a UFO flying over that area. The way it moved about, appeared and disappeared, the speed of it slowing down and speeding up. Very, very odd and coincidental. So you can't help but, you can't blame people for thinking a certain way, especially if they see certain material out there which suggests the possibilities, right? And as for the army presence, the military itself, we've gone deeper than that. This is very poorly worded, okay? Besides conspiracy, it's the fact that the military, and tied in partially with the government, wanted to take over more land of the Mojave Desert. But why? They already have enough land, but they want more and more. And that whole hike route by Kenny Veach, initially, in the past, was going to be wiped off the marker in terms of being able to publicly access it. The military wanted to take over the land which Kenny Veach hiked on back in 2014 onwards, right? So that land was taken by now. It was unsuccessful in the past, those attempts made, and those attempts made only happened after the Kenny Veach missing person case. So it's as if the timing of it is a bit coincidental, right? Kenny Veach may have found something, publicly talks about it. What happens after? Military want to take over that land to make sure no more general public people hike on it. Strange. Kenny Veach's comment on an Area 51 technician worker on YouTube, the comment gets deleted. It's like there's something going on in the background, right? Too many coincidences can equal maybe something else is going on in the background. So even if the alien part is considered a bit drastic, the military presence is a valid, factual point. And even Jeff Clark has documented it as well on his channel with the military land and border margins and the proposed land that they wanted to take over. It's all been documented on his channel and also on my channel, so be sure to look at that. Lower down, it goes on to say Kenny Veach, 47 years of age, is believed to have discovered a hidden cave near the off-limits area and has been missing ever since. Well, he was 47 years of age at the time. He's older now. He's in his 50s. Kenny Veach did not find a hidden cave because he called it deep and dark, and it stood out. It stood out to him, so it couldn't be hidden, right? So poor wording once again. And the supposed cave was not near off limits or margins like that. That's incorrect as well. I mean, has the actual cave been found yet or since? No. But the way Kenny Veach described it, at least in his hike video, where he said, oh, in an area somewhere like here, that's just before Pitcher Canyon, and that's not restricted land. It's away from it, so it's not near an off-limit area. Maybe a few miles northeast, a few miles west, yeah, you got the border over there, but that's miles, right? You know, what they're doing, it's stupid, this wording. Anyway, airing his findings on YouTube in 2014, Veach urged his followers to retrace his steps as he investigated further, but he was never heard from again. A third trip to the site. So, is that correct in saying a third trip to the site? Well, technically, yes, because the first time he went, it was unrecorded, undocumented, he wasn't anticipating it, wasn't ready. He comes across the cave, he's shocked, but he doesn't go to it because he thinks it's a bad idea. After, he talks about it online, then plans to go back out a second time to find it and to document it. Unsuccessful and disappointed, returning back home. Then he said he was going to try one more time. Said that to the girlfriend. I'm going on a 2 to 3 day hike. Then on November the 10th, 2014, he went out, never came back. So, makes sense for the 3 trips out there. But technically you could say 4 trips out there, because in Kenny Veach's second trip, as in his YouTube M Cave hike video, Kenny Veach said, oh, I hiked up there in the mountains previously. So that would mean, another trip out there, so a total of 4. And maybe more trips out there in the past, depending what Kenny Veach was doing in the past, right? Kenny Veach could have gone down Joe May Canyon, Pitcher Canyon in the past, unknowingly not focused on the cave because he didn't know about it at the time, right? So possibilities has been there more than 3 times, right? Says Area 51 is off limits to member of the public. No shit. He claimed in one comment, one time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The reason why that's weird, Nellis Air Force Base is within the outer skirts of Las Vegas. Nellis Air Force Testing Range is what Kenny Veach should be referring to, right? So Kenny Veach actually made the mistake when describing it in the comment, right? Which isn't good. You could interpret it as misdirection, because that's what Kenny Veach has done elsewhere. Don't know what that photo is about. Anything else? We've got a gorilla. Right. Here we go. It says in quotes, the entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular one, my whole body began to vibrate. Yes, and it scared him. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed out of there. True, yeah. Veach did return from that trip, but on November the 10th, 2014, headed back for what would be his third and final venture out there. One comment on his page reads, no, don't go back out there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. You won't get out. That was by the YouTube username LemmyKillMister, and ever since there's been fake imposter accounts of LemmyKillMister to try and make it more mysterious than it is. Just acknowledging that, right? But the original LemmyKillMister did leave the comment, as you see on quotes here. Was it done to... I don't know, was it done in a dark way? I think it was just more in a joking way. And the fact that Kenny didn't come back, and because people online saw the comment by Lemmy, well, they all responded back wanting answers. People thought that LemmyKillMister was the one responsible for Kenny Veach's death and disappearance. After that and all that questioning, it was likely that Lemmy deleted his YouTube channel because it's no longer available anymore, right? So I think it was a bit like of a prank comment gone wrong, where you say bad things will happen, but you don't actually anticipate it to, but it actually does. So it backfires on you, and then you face the backlash from people that think you know more than what's actually going on. and then it gets to the point where you get harassed, a prank gone wrong, so you just end up walking away and deleting that channel. Very disappointing, but unfortunate at the same time. There's Kenny picking some pinion nuts or so. Anything else? The trail has since gone cold on the whereabouts of Veach, whose phone was found near the entrance of an abandoned mine shaft, although one user claiming to be his girlfriend says he may have taken his own life. Here we go again with the possible misinformation. So they say that the trail has gone cold on the whereabouts of Kenny. Incorrect. The whereabouts have not gone cold. They've gone bright red and bright hot at times because back in 2022, the sister-in-law, Susan Veach, passed on key information and intel that Kenny Veach's Facebook account made an attempted call to Susan Veach. Unfortunately, Susan Veach wasn't available at the time to answer that call, but it's very strange that. And that call was from Kenny Veach's Facebook account, personal one, and as well, it was just before his birthday of November. So, November the 22nd, his birthday or so, making a call just before that. A little bit strange, bit odd timing. But besides that, if you're talking about something more physical, well, in 2018, you got the CCTV footage of Las Vegas, the Enchanted Forest Healing Store. I think it's called Enchanted Forest, yeah. And that's run by Debbie Veach, the sister to Kenny Veach. How coincidental is that? And there was a break-in in 2018, and when you look at the footage, certain characteristics applied to Kenny Veach, right? Stealing an iPad, but getting away with it. The police not following it up with reports or checking for fingerprints because the family, well, Debbie Veach, the store owner, didn't want to continue the investigation. She just thought, well, just let it be. Seems like you're covering for someone there, right? And even the younger brother, Raymond Veach, also does classes at that store as well. So are they all in on it or so? Because it feels like it in some way. Very strange there. So there have been, updates on whereabouts of Kenny ever since, and I've documented it all on my channel. It's just that this article fails to acknowledge any of my research, which is no surprise. And the part about Kenny Veach committing suicide, well, that's a typical narrative, isn't it? It says, Sharon Pilgrim, the girlfriend, believes the 47-year-old did so after battling depression for many years, leaving his phone so he could not be tracked. She said he also did not take his video camera with him on this solo hike. It was left in his home, so he had no intention of filming anything. Well, that's a load of BS, because Sharon Pilgrim herself said in a YouTube comment that Kenny Veach did not take his normal camera. Instead, he took a different camera for only taking photos. So the story has switched and changed there, hasn't it? So this article has got it wrong once again. I wouldn't say there's a strong, there's no proof to suggest Kenny Veach committed suicide. There's no gun found, no bullets found, no bullet holes found, no bone fragments, no blood out there, nothing, right? Kenny Veach dealing with stuff in the background, yeah, maybe trying to get away from it all or start a new life. That's another way of getting away and escaping from problems. Not everything, like when it comes to escaping problems, has to revolve to death. It can be other ways, just by simply escaping a country, fleeing a place if you're in trouble, whatever it might be, right? And as for the girlfriend, who is described as a girlfriend, but then Kenny Veach said she's only just a friend, and then not, and then yes, and then not, very back and forth there. Not exactly helpful, is it? That when Kenny Veach was struggling, Sharon wasn't really there for him. That I think Kenny Veach had to move out of the house, or a house, and he was like, could have been on the verge of homelessness because of the money issues as well. But it just seemed a bit too weak. And even Sharon Pilgrim, who is a mental health professional, even joked about Kenny and said, well, I hope you don't pull a Robin Williams on me, in quotes. Is that exactly what a professional should say in that field? Seems a little bit, I don't know, poor taste or so. And then what about later? Fast forward on to 2021 onwards, and you got some people interacting with Sharon Pilgrim in the YouTube comment section because she has her own YouTube channel. And some people were saying, I wonder what happened. I'm going to try and work it out. And then Sharon joked and said, well, I'll tell you if you're hot or cold, if you're near to the trail or not. Gosh, this is going to be so exciting. What's so exciting about trying to find a missing person that's presumed dead? There's nothing exciting about it. It's treated as like a recovery mission to some. And in others, interesting, trying to find out if there is truly a mystery out there. It's not about having like a jolly camping trip there, you know. If Sharon Pilgrim and other families cared, then why didn't they do more? They've never gone out there searching. Why is that? Did they give up very quickly? Well, it seems like it, in a sense. And, you know, take in mind that Sharon Pilgrim said she reported Kenny Veach 2 days after going missing. But Susan Veach's sister-in-law, who knows a thing or two, said that that was a lie. That the girlfriend reported Kenny Veach 8 days later as missing. Why would you report someone that late in a case? You know, in a life or death situation, why would you be reporting them missing 8 days too late when they probably have no chance of survival? Is it because you don't want them to survive? Take in mind, I have done a deep case file analysis of Sharon Pilgrim. Be sure to check it out on my channel and much more, okay? So, that was the first article. Following the mental health bandwagon, pushing that, because obviously many people out there will relate to these issues, so they're more likely to just nod their head, yes men, yes women, and go along with it without questioning it whatsoever, right? The fact that Sharon Pilgrim is in a mental health or was in a mental health professional field, people are more likely to listen to her. But then when you look at her background, her behaviour and attitude at times when it comes to this case, it seems very unprofessional and at times very questionable and suspicious. Not a good look, right? So this article in general follows a biased narrative. It mentions misinformation, over-exaggerative language and text, and serious poor wording when it comes to talking about Kenny Veach and what he found and where he found it at. So this article was pretty bad, okay? Do we know who writ it? Does it give a name at the top? It doesn't seem to. So what I've done is push that aside now, because what we're looking at right here, right now, is a different article, and this is by the Irish Mirror. So let's see if there's any consistencies with the previous article we looked at, or if this one's a bit more accurate. So the title reads, Mystery of Missing YouTuber Who Vanished After Finding Vibrating Cave Near Area 51. So the wording has been changed about this time. Mystery instead of mysteriously. YouTuber still the same. Area 51 key buzz line. Vibrating. Well, a descriptive word used in the title, I see, to grab people's attention. Is it worded any better, this? A little bit, but the fact that it says near Area 51 is incorrect, because once again, Area 51 is away in distance from where Kenny supposedly found the cave. So misinformation. As a little subheading, it says Kenny Veach stumbled upon a cave near Area 51's military base in Nevada. Incorrect. Where he claimed his body vibrated the further he went in. Well, he didn't go fully in, did he? He got closer to it and felt the vibrations, but he didn't actually go inside because he wasn't prepared. He wasn't armed, and that scared him. Okay? It says a man mysteriously vanished after stumbling upon a hidden cave. Nevada, yeah. Near the Area 51, incorrect. People have always pondered upon the army's presence at the US military base there, with some alleging it has some sort of link with extraterrestrial life. So it's worded a little bit better here. They're not labeling people as crazy or conspiracy theories. They're just saying that there are some out there that have pondered and wondered, I wonder if the military are responsible for Kenny's disappearance. Did aliens play a role? So it's a bit more balanced, this, which is better. It's very vague though. It doesn't mention anything about the US borders, military border lines, or anything about land takeover, which is quite an important, serious matter, but doesn't seem to... Basically, they don't do the research, okay? Does it say who it's by? Well, this one said it was by Ewan something when I looked earlier. Anyway, we'll just carry on reading. It says, YouTuber Kenny Veach, 47, is thought to have found a secluded cave near the no-go area and has not been seen since. Well, a lot of that is incorrect because, one, it was not near a no-go area. It's in like a public area where you can hike in, so that's false. It says, and he's not been seen since. Well, that's incorrect because there is evidence to suggest he was alive afterwards. As I said, 2018 CCTV footage and 2022 phone call made from his Facebook account. Evidence to suggest that he's alive. Where's the evidence to prove he's completely dead? There's no evidence, right? So it's still a bit of a bandwagon sense here. It says whatever that is. After locating the cave on YouTube, well, that's poorly worded once again. He did not locate the cave on YouTube. He talked about finding the cave on YouTube in the comments section of Sunnan Area 51 technician worker. So once again, this is worded terribly. And as well, take in mind, Kenny Veach was not a YouTuber, nor has he ever been a YouTuber. He had a YouTube channel. He uploaded, videos here and there, but it wasn't a full-on YouTuber as you would expect, right? And he uploaded multiple videos all in one day as well, besides the MK hike, which was done beforehand. And even that doesn't mean to say when it was uploaded on that date was when he went out. It could have been weeks or months before that, and then he decided to upload it later, right? So, bit of poor wording here, to be fair. But it says, Veach, after locating the cave... Right, so I think they've used a comma in the wrong spot. It should have been, after locating the cave, comma, in 2014, on YouTube, Veach asked his followers. But why is it saying Veach asked his followers to retrace his steps? Shouldn't it be Kenny Veach's followers at the time urged Kenny to prove it to them by going back out there? Once again, it's poor wording this, okay? It says, but Kenny was never heard from again after his third time in the cave. Once again, this is incorrect wording. This is terrible. It's not the third time Kenny Veach went into the cave. It was supposedly his first and only time, but he never made it back, probably because he never found the cave, and there was alternative plans on the way, which can link in with the evidence, what I've suggested earlier on about later sightings, right? That the family members, some of them are covering for Kenny Veach and maybe assisting him, keeping, lay low elsewhere, right? So terrible wording. Never heard from again. Well, you kind of true that after a third time out there, but not a third time in the cave, he never got the chance, from the looks of it at least, to actually go into the cave. Because at least on the second hike, when he tried retracing it and recording it, he wasn't able to find it. Is that because he was in a completely wrong area? Is it because he was trying to cause misdirection? Is it because, I don't know, he got confused himself? There's different ideas there, right? But just terrible when it says before that, Kenny wrote on YouTube, one time during one of my hikes out there, found a hidden cave. So even if it's quoted like this, which Kenny Veach has worded wrongly himself, out by Nellis Air Force Base, he should have said near Nellis Air Force Testing Range. Well, if this whole article and the previous one is quoting this by Kenny saying, I found a hidden cave, supposedly near Nellis Air Force Test Range, then why does this article, when they word it themselves, completely ignore that and say that Kenny Veach found a cave near Area 51? Where on here, Kenny Veach is claiming he found it near Nellis Air Force Base. Nellis Air Force Base is different to Area 51. Nellis Air Force Base is in the outer skirts of Las Vegas. Area 51 is past Jome Canyon and more northwest into the distance of the desert, right? Two completely different locations and areas and distance. So this article is completely ignoring the facts or the research in general, right? Entrance shape like Pip, yeah, we saw that. He noted that the further he went in, the more it vibrated. Setting out one final time on November the 10th, 2014, he headed back to the mysterious cave. Well, supposedly did. Supposedly. November the 10th, that's the correct one. Yep. Someone wrote on his page, "Let me kill Mr. Don't go back out there. Bad things will happen." Yep. Nobody knows where Veach is, despite his phone being found near the entrance of the abandoned mineshaft. I like how this article assumes and, generalizes that nobody on this planet knows where Kenny is. Excuse me, Ewan, and your Irish article. Why don't you pull that potato out your rear end and actually do some proper research on this case by looking at my channel, Pratt? Jesus. Yeah, exactly. Anything else? One user claiming to be his girlfriend, Sharon Pilgrim. Yeah. Pushing the suicide theory once again. Battling depression many years, discarding his phone so he couldn't be tracked down. And yet they're not talking anything about prescription drugs or medication. Nothing talked about that, or whether he takes it or not. I don't even think he was on anything. So that was really, consistent there. Shedded, he also did not take... you say he didn't take his video camera with him, but you also said that he did take a different camera with him. So you contradicted yourself there, Sharon Pilgrim. So he had no intention of filming anything. Well, if he had no intention of filming anything, then why did you say he took it just a picture camera? And, from what Susan Veach also said, by passing it on from the nephew of Kenny Veach, Hunter Veach, who had a text conversation with Kenny before Kenny went out there. And Kenny said, well, when I get back from my trip, I've got a surprise for you. So he was intending on coming back. Yet he didn't in the end. So that seems a little bit odd, right? And you might wonder, well, where's this text conversation? Where are all these text conversations, Warlight Ref? Where are all these receipts? Well, don't worry. All under control. It's all documented on my channel. The receipts, the text messages, back and forth nature, comparisons, all of it documented on my channel. But all these articles are not documenting shit, right? Telling the same old BS, regurgitated story, a nice little drop link for mental health awareness. Here's a helpline, here's this, here's that, here's a kitchen sink, here's everything. Oh, here we go again. But because of using the mental health card and the way it's talked about so often nowadays, people will relate. And if people relate, they will understand and follow this story. So then when someone like me comes out and says, well, no, there are other ideas, there's other suggestions, and here's proof of this and that, people are more likely to snap at me because I'm not following the narrative. I'm thinking outside the box. I'm doing additional alternative research, which doesn't suggest Kenny Veach committed suicide. And then people won't like hearing that because it seems like I'm going against the whole Mental Health Act. And then all that labelling follows after it. And it doesn't go down too well, unfortunately. But there you go. That's just how it is. As said, you want to look at my playlist of other videos out there, you're welcome to. It's all on my channel. It's all public to see, and maybe your perspective might change despite reading these BS articles. I read these articles to see if they're consistent, which they're not 100% of the time. 100% of these news articles have never mentioned any new research or acknowledged my work on the case, or Jeff Clark's, or Sean Horlecker's, or Atari's, anyone's, right? It's all BS. Misinformation, poorly worded, exaggerative language, the lot. It's very disappointing, okay? So there are more articles to get through, but I think that's enough for today. Let's just head on over to the comment section of, well, supposedly normal people on YouTube. See if there's any questions that need answering, if there's any key additional alternative information that needs acknowledging. We'll head on over right now. So here's the comments. I'm just going to adjust it to the newest. The interesting thing is this Kenny Veach video, what I did, what was it, like 2-3 days ago, in terms of the engagement, reasonable in the comment section. As for the statistics, over 1,000 people have seen this video, which is good to see. In terms of overall, it's been over a month since my last video got 1,000 views. As for standard videos, which is quite shocking, to be honest. I mean, the short videos have been okay here and there, and past passive videos too, but wow, over a month it's taken to get 1,000 views on a normal video since. It clearly shows how dead the Dylan Rounds case is when there's only 200 people watching the videos. crazy. But let's just acknowledge these comments here. Cleo with some random emojis. Cleo is definitely very expressionate with her facial expressions. I don't know why, but I've noticed that. Sketchy saying, now this is thinking outside the box. Well done, so appreciate that. Andrew Culver, good of you to say that. So you can think outside of the box, but it doesn't mean you're straying away from the truth. You're just taking an alternative pathway to get to the truth. That's it. This person here saying, could Kenny have meant gasp peak instead of gas peak? Well, I tried typing in gasp peak and it didn't exist on the maps unless it's in a different area. But as for what Jeff Clark and SB Vegas Adventures have said, and they've been out there themselves and they are familiar with the area and the maps, of course, and experienced, they have confirmed that Gas Peak in the video what we were referring to was the place Kenny Veach went to. He just incorrectly pointed it out in Kenny's own video at the time. Joker here saying, I'd like to see where the scents found led to in the maps and check out the other side as you mentioned. Well, Joker, if you're watching right now, go back to the previous video I did of your comment, check the response out, because here's the link to it where it describes it. It's all under control. I've got you covered, okay? Clear, definitely. I feel Kenny was dropping clues. Wow. A couple of people with time have thought Kenny was dropping clues. Some thought he was dropping clues because he couldn't directly reveal the truth because he was being forced to keep quiet. Other people think that he was dropping clues but more misinformation to cause misdirection. But why would Kenny Veach do that? All kinds of reasons. Jeff Clark saying GLP, the platform website, banned him for trying to link this video, saying interesting as that has not happened in a while. I'll try rewording the title and attempt it again. So it's good of Jeff Clark to make an attempt to link it to the website, saying it's undeniable that something with either this case or this location rubs the feds the wrong way. Just too many odd things happen whenever someone starts to get into this mystery. That's so damn true. And now a comment I just asked, Jay Chuck, if you watched this live stream, just disappeared as well. So we got comments disappearing, we got videos not getting true views, people being unsubscribed, notifications being turned off for some people, live streams cutting out for others out there, links being deleted randomly, YouTube themselves acting a bit funny, police acting a bit funny, websites out there, GLP playing up as well, banning people. Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on, and it always happens in bursts, especially when suddenly start covering the case all of a sudden, again or for the first time by someone. It's weird. You see my recent emails, makes me wonder about this clip. I'll have to look back at the emails, Jeff Clark, I'll try and catch up on them when I can. Richard, what a waste of time. Thank goodness for FF. I don't even know what that means, but do you know what? Your channel is a waste of time. You got a default profile picture, you got 0 videos, and you got 0 contribution to the case. Waste of time, right? Exactly. This person, Jessica, no hints, no clues, just detailing his hike experience. So Jessica and Jerry believe that Kenny Veach was not revealing anything at all. I simply explained saying, well, Kenny did contradict himself within the video and created possible misdirection about the cave. Don't worry, Jessica, I did document his contradictions, and even Jeff Clark has acknowledged it in my previous videos. It's all there, it's all under control. Kenny also said you can go spelunking in the area, yet there is not a single cave out there that's been found where it's deep enough to go spelunking. So why is Kenny Veach saying something like that? It's a load of BS. So something else is going on. And yeah, basically you need to do more research, Jessica and Jerry. You say, when you find him, let me know. Oh, don't worry, Jessica and Jerry. You know, do you want a free takeaway delivery ring knock at the door as well? You know, you don't want to collect your food, or I've got to deliver it for you. Do you need tucking into bed as well? You need some cookies and milk bringing up as well? Come on, get a grip. Okay, it's not VIP service, not even a member on the channel. Jesus. Sonny saying, hey, yo. Okay. Good job in getting my salt comment. Exactly. Got a talking code nowadays. Correct, Sonny. Exactly. Jeremy. I've been stalking this page for a while, so I just now subscribed. Anything new to report on? So thanks, Jeremy, for subscribing. That's good of you. As for anything to report on, well, it depends what you've been looking at on my channel, because I've documented a 2022 call made by Kenny's Facebook account, also documenting the supposed crystal skull being found, but in other people's mindsets, a second crystal skull being found out there in the mine shaft. Are you aware of that? There are videos that I've done previously. Feel free to check them if you haven't. Glenn, busy day for me, but catching up, no problem. You just watch the videos when you can. You do whatever you need to get done first. That's fine. Sonny, never delete videos. Amen. And still say curt or salty on copyright stuff. It's definitely somebody from Dylan's community, Westside. Yeah, I think there are people out there that at times want this channel down or certain videos down because they're a bit jealous or they've got a grudge for some reason, right? And I think because I demonstrated balance and I questioned everybody in the case, or most people out there, it rubbed some up the wrong way because I didn't choose sides like everybody else did. So it made me a target from all possible angles and on the receiving end of several stuff. But, you know, it's happened. Still able to make videos on this channel for now, so that's something, I guess. Russian Muffin, interesting name. My dream one day ref breaks the Kenny Veach story. I'll be genuinely honest with you. If I ever broke or solved the Kenny Veach story, it would probably just fade into the desolate abyss, fall on deaf ears, and probably fade away. Yeah, regular people will watch it, which is all good. People like you, which is all good people. But as for the general public, the whole population out there that have heard about the case, they're not going to do research. They're not going to come across my video, and even YouTube itself, because it's a popularity contest, my video isn't going to get recognized. So I did make the joke in the past saying if I found Kenny Veach or I did an interview with him, it still wouldn't be enough to, you know, solve it, and there'd be many people out there that would never acknowledge it or see the videos. But if a big YouTuber came along in 10 years time and copy and pasted that video claiming that they found Kenny, oh, all of a sudden it's acknowledged. It's pathetic and it's very annoying, but that's just how it is. Cleo, erase, I don't know, Cleo with a random comments. This person in Greek, I think he's alive, fair point. ZX0 shout out, good individual and also a good profile picture. Oh, how nice, more KV, got you covered, thank you, you're welcome. Here's a Kenny Veach video, back at you. Hayden, new viewer. I've been looking at this case a lot recently, and I personally believe that he is somewhere in between Sheep Peak and Corn Creek. Okay, thanks for leaving that comment. Interesting point there. I think Jeff Clark was hiking around Corn Creek, and I don't know if that's where the vibrations were felt. Jeff Clark, or SB, if you're seeing this video right now, Jeff, let me know what you think of Hayden's comment between Sheep Peak and Corn Creek. Just in general, at least. Tom, but a different Tom. Definitely him breaking into his sister's store. He's alive. From the looks of it, it would suggest that up to a point, yeah. Shout out to Tom, new viewer. A lot of new people here. Camran, Kenny Veach must have faked his death just for a big joke he wanted to do, because I know he's still alive. He wasn't alone near the M cave. You can hear girls laughing and groan. Okay, some people think it wasn't Aleph or it wasn't anybody else. It was just Kenny Veach and maybe him burping or, I don't know, breathing out or something. But, you know, my videos have just suggested these little findings along the way. And I guess, Camran, you've been influenced by them, because I was the one and the only to cover it on YouTube regarding what you said there. I mean, not with this comment, but I've seen other comments by other people out there that have worded it like some strange finding has come about and it was by somebody out there, and they leave comments on my channel saying, yeah, I came across somebody that found this and documented this on YouTube. I just can't remember the channel or the name, and I'm like, you're bloody talking to the person that found that stuff. I'm the one that covered it. I know not everyone will remember, which is okay. I understand that, but I don't know, I just find it a bit funny at times where people are talking, like third person, and I'm literally stood in front of them, well, virtually, but yeah, it's just one of those things. So it's like we've reached the end of the comments there. Okay, fair enough. So let me know if you'd like to see any more Kenny Veach videos looking at these different articles. I do have an article playlist about Kenny Veach where I analyse these news reports. There are a couple more to read through, and I think some older ones as well, which I never got round to. So just let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like to see more, maybe in the future, or even on the channel page, wherever. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and you're able to, I guess, follow along with it to understand what was happening. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me too much the way this case is and how it's talked about by these official news outlets over there, or in this case, the UK and in the US as well at times when it comes about. It's just not documented enough, and when it is documented, it's just telling the same old story. No attempt of research was made. I mean, even that Kenny Veach documentary, I don't believe that mentioned any references to some of the YouTubers out there and those on the platform that have covered it and discovered findings, right? Never. It's very disappointing, right? I don't know why they don't do the research. Is it because they think they're above everyone and that these YouTubers with smaller channels like me and others, the research isn't compatible with the case? A bit silly that, to be honest, when you've got actual family members of that missing person reaching out to my channel and others and sharing their thoughts. I mean, that's a big deal in its own right, you know? But, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, just leave your comments down below if you got any additional questions, or even randomly if you got grievances. Thanks for watching. As for next video, I'm not sure what the next video will be. I know for certain I have a lot of videos I do need to upload, not long ones and not live premieres, because they're just not long, the videos, you know, like going on a walk, walking about, nature, ASMR, stuff like that. I've got a lot of them to upload, and maybe it's now time to start uploading them, right? Yeah, I know conspiracies will be spread. I know my name will be dragged through the mud just because I do something different, or I say or cover different stuff than usual. But the routine changes. I'll be criticised for that. There might even be a witch hunt against me, all kinds of conspiracies and ideas. But, you know, it happens. I'm not in control of that. There are still videos to come, just different for now, because I've got lots of videos to upload, and I do want to offload it, because when you get too many videos, I don't know, it just gets too much to sort out, and then it makes future videos more difficult because of the storage issues. And if one gets a different phone down the line, I want to be able to, you know, get rid of, offload all this material, so then it doesn't drag over, you know? Got dentist tomorrow, get that out the way, and then just like a casual, more laid back approach for the time being. You know, it's to think you can upload videos, or you can upload short videos, different format, not a live premiere, and then people think you've been absent, or people accuse you of conspiracies or something. It's like, well, there's still activity, right? People say the channel's gone dead, or the channel has stopped or gone completely quiet, and that's it. And it's like, well, how can it be it when community posts are up, or photos are posted, or a short video is posted, or a standard video but just a shorter one is posted? It's still all activity. It's still all, you know, movement. So I guess people don't look at it that way. But yeah, I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Thanks for watching this one. Feel free to check back on previous Kenny Veach videos if you've missed them, or the previous one at least. And yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, goodbye, and good night.